you still have people that are willing to take the risk by putting money in those. And
Yeah.
I think that money has to be wiped out, so I think that, you may, maybe the top 50 survive, maybe, who knows, and there will be new ones that have great use cases that come out, just like new companies come out all the time.
Hello and welcome to Wealthy Value. In today's video, crypto analyst and chief market strategist at InTheMoneyStocks.com Gareth Soloway updates about Bitcoin's most recent breakout, chances of a capitulation event, and whether or not we are out of a bear market. Gareth reveals why he still stands by his $12,000 Bitcoin low prediction and why we will see a temporary bounce back to $25,500 before another major pullback. Make sure to stick around till the end of this video where Gareth Soloway explains why inflation is never going away and his thoughts on Ethereum's most recent price performance. By the way, did you know that 49 million Americans were victims of identity theft in 2020 and it ended up costing them a combined $56 billion? This isn't happening just to people who fall for phishing scams or use bad passwords. 37 billion records got hacked in 2020 alone from major social media sites, national grocery store chains, cryptocurrency exchanges, pharmacies, and phone and internet providers. That's why I am excited to partner with Aura, who is sponsoring this video. Aura's app uses AI and machine learning to protect your identity online. You tell Aura what email address, account numbers, and phone numbers you want monitored, and their algorithms scour the dark web, data brokers, and public records, and will alert you to any criminal activity fast. Aura's app also features a VPN that encrypts your browsing history and allows you to stay anonymous online, and their antivirus software will block malware and viruses before they infect your devices. Someone becomes a victim of identity fraud every 14 seconds. Don't be the next one. Click the link in the description to try Aura free for 2 weeks and see if your personal identifiable information has leaked to the dark web. And now, back to our video.
So basically, beautiful breakout here on Bitcoin. You can see this level here, which is 21.8, which was the level that it basically was hammering against, going all the way really back to when it broke down and made the lowest point back in June, right? So we got the close yesterday. We were getting continuation, which looks like it's confirming the move. And it looks to me like we'll head up to this 25.5 level. That's the pivot low from the Terra Luna collapse over here. To me, that's the big level next, at least the next target. I do think there's a chance we go through that, maybe all the way as high as about 28.5. But again, for me at least, I'm in the position of where, whether it's 25.5 or 28.5, I'm not thinking that we get through that high level. And I think there still is some more downside. Now, I am still currently long Bitcoin. I did take some profits today. FTT, I pulled my profits there. Avalanche, I took some profits there, but I still have some Ethereum long. I still have some Bitcoin long. I still have some Cardano, Polkadot, Chainlink. So I still have some exposure as we ride this wave. But again, it's not a long-term play for me. This is a shorter-term play up into these resistance levels. Once we get there, I'll be looking to take profits and basically rinse and repeat. And that's what I've done for so long. It's worked out very well. I definitely think there's always a chance that that's correct. I mean, we just never know for sure. My few things that bother me about the potential low being in is that we still haven't seen enough disruption in the overall crypto market. So, you go to coins, they've all been discounted, some of them 95%, some of them 90%. Even Ethereum is down significantly, although the bounce has been just absolutely awesome on Ethereum. But to me, I look at that sector and I'm like, how can this many coins still exist? And if this is the bottom and now we're headed up, how does that work? How do we have so many coins in the system at that point? So for me, that's one of the issues. And also looking back and comparing it to the .com era, you haven't seen that full capitulation. I mean, we did see fear when we were below the 2017 highs, but we didn't see that all out, like throw your hands up in the air, crypto's over kind of mentality, which is usually what notes the bottom. In fact, 2018, that was very similar to what we saw. We saw this kind of, oh my goodness, Bitcoin no more kind of thought. And then that was the bottom at 3,500. So that's an issue. And then my other issue would be is, even though I do think the Fed, like you said, is going to essentially stop hiking by later this year and probably even start easing in 2023. The question is, why are they doing that? And my guess is you're starting to see a real destructive event going on in the economy, right? And if you see the NASDAQ starting to really collapse down, and I don't think the NASDAQ's bottomed by any stretch, I think it's got to go down 40-50% at minimum, then what you're saying is that you'll see a pivot in Bitcoin where it starts to strengthen when the Nasdaq and the stocks actually go down, which I actually agree. Eventually that happens.
Yeah.
I just don't know if this is the time frame where that happens. So I think that it's definitely a possibility. If there's one thing, just like Game of Thrones, if there's one thing I know nothing, kind of
Yeah, of
nothing,
course, of
Jon
course.
Snow, right? You have to respect the charts, that they're the ones that are always right, and you just don't know. But for me, I'd be amazingly surprised if all of a sudden it's the new bull run and here we go to the upside. Now, I will show this. I do have a level that I'm watching. If we take out this level and confirm, then I would tend to agree with you on that, right? So if you connect the
33K?
high from 69,000 here to this high,
Mm-hmm.
notice how this line is right around 30,000 right now.
Mm,
It will slope down right into this 28,000 area, probably in about a month or so, right? Now,
gotcha.
if we somehow get above that, then that is a breakout on the charts. That would get my attention. And I think that would be the one case where I would say, okay, now I actually kind of do believe that the bottom is in, and now we could go back to 69, 70, 80, 100,000 on Bitcoin. But until then, we're still in a pretty steep downtrend. And really, if you look at this move, even if we go up to 25, 26, or even 28, that's all an inside bar bearish pattern from this move down, or better yet, even from this move down. And the last thing I'll just mention is that I still have a measured move where you take this high here to this low here,
Mm,
right? And then you had this consolidation pattern, right? So we have this kind of sideways channel. And then if you take that same distance from here and you extend it out, you actually get right around
yeah.
12,000. So this line is the same as this line, and that gives me that kind of bottom area. So again, anything can happen, and that's the beauty of
It is.
investing and why it's so freaking fun.
Of course.
But for me, I'll take that opposing bet. I still think we're going to 12, 13,000. Unfortunately, I even think there's a chance we could go lower, but let's take one step at a time. One of the reasons why I was starting to talk up a bounce, so everyone knows I called for 20,000. We were at 69,000. One of the reasons, I mean, there were chart signals, but there was also just so much crazy bullishness that
Yeah.
it was almost the easy way to go, which was just say, okay, well, if everyone's bullish, then it's not going to go that way. And same thing when we were below the 2017 highs of 19.5 or so, everyone was just like doom and gloom. And it's like, okay, well, now we're due for a bounce. We're oversold.
You're
They've
right.
run the stops, which were at 19.5, which was a 2017 high. It made sense that we would see a bounce there. So the question is, as we rally, like when we see 26, 28, like you're saying, which I think we do see, do we then see everyone start to say the bottom's in, which then the contrarian view would be back to the
Yeah, of
downside?
course. That's why
It's
we said we're
amazing
gonna go
like
back
that.
down though.
But I want to see that period where anyone speculating on the 1,001th cryptocurrency by market cap, that needs to be wiped out. That can't be in the system anymore unless there's a real use case to it. And people will argue there is, right? Oh, this one is about cats, or this one's about dogs, or like, and for me, I'm just like, really, we're in the real world here where you actually need to have some sort of use case that's legitimate.
Okay.
So I think what the market will have to do is start to realize that inflation's not really going away. It may come down from 11 or 9% to 5 or 4%, but then it's going to be sticky for the next 10 years at 4 to 5%. And that eventually you're going to see an economy that weakens, and the Fed can't, like everyone's fooling themselves if they think the Fed can all of a sudden print trillions and trillions of dollars again in the next recession to get us out of it with inflation at 4 to 5%. Because guess what? Then you're going to see inflation at 15 or 20%. So that's going to be the period where the realization hits that, okay, inflation's here to stay, and the Fed can't do a lot about a recession, which means risk off is going to take hold again. One of my cases, again, for why the NASDAQ, S&P are still headed a lot lower. And while unfortunately, I think crypto may have that one more dump as well. So the best way to do it is, let me use my hands here. So right now you have inflation high, unemployment low, right? And I'm trying to get this in the camera. But as inflation comes down, the economy, because they're tightening, unemployment's going to go up, right? And when you get unemployment high enough, they're going to say, oh my goodness, we now need to stimulate to bring down unemployment. And then this is going to go up. So it's going to be like this back and forth, right? I think you have to marvel the fact that It was at 1,000 6-7 days ago, and it hit a high of 1630. That's a 60% move. It is getting close to major resistance, though. So I'm still in this. But if we get close to this 1,700 level, I'm going to take profits, and I might even pull a short. I might even pull the trigger on a quick short trade. Granted, very quick. I'm not, I'll look for 200-300 downside kind of thing and just grab that money and run. But that is a major resistance. I would be very surprised if Ethereum blew right through 1,700 without any sort of pullback.
So what are your thoughts about Gareth's perspective on Bitcoin breakout? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.